Alright, you should be able to hear me. Hello and welcome everyone. Yes, welcome to our first test stream. One second, I'm gonna... Okay, now I'm in the Discord actually. Hello and welcome everyone. Your commentators today are Engel and Miraba, and we are restreaming the first test race. Yeah, basically, okay, it's not the first test race, it's just the first one we are restreaming today, featuring Wiley and Sora. Engel and Miraba, do you want to explain the settings to our viewers?
I guess we can do that. We expect to have to paste this stuff in a lot into chat as people come in. Test settings have been changing a lot over the last week or so as tests for Season 4 have been underway. There's a lot of things that they're looking to change up for Season 4. There are some big ones, such as you can now get into Ganon's castle early. At 2 medallions is the setting for today. At 6 medallions, you will get the boss key. Also, it will spawn you at a random age and a random location. This means that warp songs are now very important in ways they might not have been before, depending on where your spawns are. You start with an ocarina. This is referred to as free Zelda. It does not mean that you need to go rescue Zelda. It means that it starts as if you have already retrieved your first ocarina and you have already talked to Zelda, already have your first song, and already have the letter as if you have talked to Zelda. Talking to Zelda is now free. Also, Deku tree is now closed, requiring you to have both a shield and a sword. So it's no longer the first thing for everyone to do. And the last part that I know of today is Mask Shop. Mask Shop is not complete. They were testing earlier, giving Bunnyhood as an option right at the beginning, and they decided to nerf that. So I believe what happens now is you have the Keaton mask. We'll see when we actually get in here if it's as if you already have the Keaton mask, and then you have to do your mask shop as usual, but this is partially because of the free Zelda thing. And I expect we will just keep on pasting this stuff in.
Yeah, we've actually got, looks like some of it scrolling on the bottom, which is very nice. Some other changes are the hint distributions. You can no longer find hints in grottos is a big one. And the other big one is no more barren hints. So it's going to be a bit more checking for our runners, it looks like.
Oh, and the Temple of Time has been disabled. You only get 1 hint now. So running over there to check the hints no longer nearly as powerful as it was. Oh, yes, and because you do have 1 ocarina to start, they have shuffled the other ocarina, so you do not get the Ocarina of Time from getting the 3 stones. You will get some other item, meaning you may not only have all dungeons for a song, you may have all dungeons for an item, such as Din's Fire. I have seen that already.
I'm not sure we're doing that today.
No, it says the hints are Ocarina of Time item. Or is that not happening today?
Well,
I
maybe
apologize
HK
if it's
can
not.
confirm, but I know we've kind of gone back
What
and
is the
forth
question?
with. Is the ocarina shuffled here?
They're starting with Ocarina.
Right, so they're not shuffled into the item pool, so there's no item on Ocarina of Time. I know that's been back and forth if people want it or not.
Well, so scratch that. We will, I guess, find out for sure later
I believe
if there
it's
is an
off.
item instead of Ocarina of Time. I see people are hoping about no Ocarina Shuffle, but they're apparently they're hoping that they turned off the shuffled Ocarina when they rolled this. So just in case. However, I think due to them using the same hint distribution, we will get the hint for Ocarina of Time anyway. I saw something in Race Time about that. I know our runners are ready. We are actually waiting on a few more people in Race Time to get ready up. There are 13 people entered if everyone in the room is actually running. And I see that there's no... Okay, 3 people to go. This is not a weekly, but I believe Sponge is in... Yep, we are still waiting for Sponge, however.
Sponge is not ready.
The offenders are, what the hell? Daisy Fan and Salty Sponge. Yeah, the settings are completely wrong. Sorry about that. These are Season 4 test settings. You see most of the things scrolling around the bottom. Okay, we are down to Sponge being the last offender. As everyone else has readied up.
All right, everybody's ready.
Oh, here we go. And we are seeing a countdown, so very shortly they will be off and we will see what they rolled.
We'll see where we even start at.
Yep, and what age we are.
Oh, we are adult in the shooting gallery.
Okay, we're in a CAC.
That's pretty nice for the runners, you know.
Yeah,
Get your
it actually
Kakariko checks.
is. I mean, the first thing you do when you go adult is you go to CAC.
Hey, here's a lot of checks.
Nothing on Anju. Hoping... Oh, okay. It was a nut upgrade on the cow. That's actually pretty nice. And everyone's gonna just rush Graveyard, I'm pretty sure. And, do we actually... No one's seen what song they have yet, so we actually don't even know.
No, but Riley's gonna get the windmill one.
Yeah,
So we'll
Neil,
probably see both.
They do start with a song and an ocarina. Wait, is that... Those are chews in the windmill, okay.
Yep, it's very nice to get chews to start with. Full heart in the grave, so getting healthy.
The question is, how many chews is it?
Hopefully, at least the 10-pack.
Now, They do not start with CL, they start with whatever. It could be a warp song.
And now we got Prelude as well.
Okay.
Convenient.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't know where you're going to be starting every at the beginning, it helps not have to, run from CAC. Get a child. Yeah, Free Zelda is not like Free Zelda's Lullaby. It's not Free Zelda like she's stuck in jail. It means flags are set as if you have already talked to Zelda. You have a song. You have a letter. The idea for that is that it changes child routing. It means people aren't necessarily going to just do free songs. It decreases the usefulness of that a little bit. Dante doesn't got anything today.
It looks like the song that's free this time is actually Serenade from the trackers.
Yeah, right now it's just being called Free Zelda. That does cause a little bit of confusion. The names of everything are basically still up in the air. And Sora also doing windmill, picking up those bomb shoes, and
He makes the jump, but
Riley about to pick up 5 rupees, and then another 5 being ignored. This is just not terribly exciting so far.
no, we'll see where our runners decide to go from this empty start. Probably check the top of the dongos.
Yeah, see how many shoes you have. It's like no one's menu.
I guess we still have.
Totally missed it.
We haven't gotten to the man on the roof yet.
It's just a wallet fill for Man on Roof.
Free money. Go buy your shield.
That's true. Do that before going up.
Oh, even more money.
Alright, well, clearly
The
should have gone
wallet.
back grotto before Man on Roof. You would have had a lot more leftover cash.
Well, I don't think we have refills on this time.
No, but it was 200 rupees, so if you get the wallet
Oh,
first
yeah.
before Man on Roof, then it fills you.
A little more, yeah.
Wait, Sora is... Okay, so we have a look. It is 10 bomb shoes. Sora stopped buying a shield.
Yeah, some people don't want a shield.
Maybe, well, let's see if Riley will go pick up a shield with that full wallet.
Nothing on
Yeah.
the dongos, so
Can't see that.
Riley is in fact going and looks to be buying the shield.
Well, you still have 100 and change left over.
And just fill up on Deku sticks.
Yep.
If nothing,
Yeah, okay, that is an out of logic bow.
it sure is. We'll see if Riley chooses to burn a chew on that.
And that means you don't need to use a chew on Link to Goron. Also means whenever, yes, it is very convenient to get to archery, you just reset. And you wind up in adult archery, and now you can do it. Riley is using a chew on the Redead Grotto and Cac, which I don't think we've seen before. Sora needs to be careful. There's no accidental death here. Riley is safe. Wait.
Oh, Skull Mask.
Skull Mask is the Megaton Hammer.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So Riley, I'm pretty sure just sage scums that chew. We're gonna see a check of the pedestal. Looks like water, shadow, fire, Jabu spirit. Okay,
Yes,
so
I mean, this is interesting. Riley skipped going up to Goron City, so 1, he doesn't have this bow. 2, he doesn't know where the hammer is. That's a lot of info Sora has right now.
That now, yes. Now that we know where the hammer is, the bow is now in logic. Sora having a little bit of trouble blowing up.
Yeah, that left bomb is like impossible.
I don't know what the hitbox is on those things.
Oh, 50 skulls is dead. That's perfect.
And what are we gonna see from Riley? Cash, so it's time for some mini games.
Yep, probably just gonna get this market,
Okay, 40
walk
is
down
magic.
the long lawn. 40 magic, uh-oh. I think we're gonna hope for a different one, I think.
You're gonna hope for another magic then.
Well, Riley, missing.
Okay, Sora resetting. Doesn't want that Nehru's love in Midos. And there was nothing else in Midos.
Ooh, eyeball frog now for Riley.
Well, we are going to get a bigger on hint.
That's true, although we have
Hardly
less...
will know if that's going to be coming into play.
Well, there's less hints, so it might take a little longer to find that one.
In a moment, we'll see what's on adult archery. Riley's picking up a bunch more money.
Kind of
we
surprised
already picked up
Sora...
some sticks, so...
Yeah, he's set for Child. I'm kind of surprised Sora didn't go to Minuet check when he went to Kikiri.
Okay, and Sora's going Child.
Yeah, it looks
Or at
like
least
he's
checking
gonna
the
follow.
pedestal. Well, here we go again. It is water, shadow, fire, Jabu, spirit. I just kind of played through that. There, it just quickly pulled it up and goes away. Cool, thanks. And we're just gonna get chickens from Riley. The quick chickens. I know that they have been testing, I think, random chicken count for Anju. But
Yeah.
I didn't see that on the list of them today.
I think we're full 7 today, but yeah, the random count for Anju has been in testing. Personally, I'm always a big fan of setting it to 0, you know? Just make it easy on us.
Well, Sora's about to get an eyeball frog. Riley's gonna pick up a song.
Yeah, Minuet, very handy right here.
Yeah, especially since we don't know where Child resets to.
Yeah, that is very true.
That could be something
we'll
awful,
see,
like
we'll
the
see
lake.
if Riley forgets that fact and and just resets here.
Sora is keeping the eyeball frog, and is gonna find out where Child sets to. think that was choosing it with a cow. Oh, that's cute.
Well,
Is Riley gonna reset from here?
no, he's gonna minuet out, but that's
That would
that's
be great.
something. Man, that puts Sora like right ahead for that.
Okay, we got Bolero.
Death
Wait,
Mountain
Death
Crater.
Mountain Crater.
Yeah.
We don't know what that's about, but we can check it because we have Bolero. Got to see a few more.
Saria's on Ocarina of Time, so probably aren't gonna need that one. Only 2 checks. Is that Death Mountain Trail as well, Way of the Hero, I think.
Yep. Probably for that bow.
Probably for the bow, but could be the eyeball frog too. You never know.
Well, Bigoron will be hinted, so Death Mountain Trail Way of the Hero cannot be on Bigoron.
Look, I just want them to have to
Like,
go.
assuming I'm
the
getting
whole-
this hint thing right.
It should be that way, yes, but we want to see them complete the quest, right? Ooh, hook shot though.
Okay, yeah, hook shot on Wolfwall Strato. That's worth a chew. Especially when you got an extra 10 of them. And, Riley opting to spend some money. Sora, problems with these chickens. Gets the last one. Riley has now seen the hint that 40 is a magic meter. Sora about to pick up Bolero. And you'll see that very useful, oh so useful Death Mountain Trailway of the Hero.
And Riley now sees the Skull Mask hint. There's a second one out here. So not punished for not seeing the other hint earlier.
My list says that Skull Mask should only be listed once. Because it's a sometimes.
I think it might be an always now because we don't have the
okay.
completed quest on anymore. Again, this is our back and forth updating what we want to test.
And we will get the Ocarina game, which is usually just a blue peak. I feel like it's just almost always a blue peak. Oh look, it's a bloopy. Sora is going to check the Kokiri sword chest. Maybe there will be something in there. Neil says, I think always, sometimes for the Skull Mask, at the moment depends on whether Cat Gate is open or closed. That would make sense. Also, we have light arrows in the Kokiri sword chest. Riley is doing Goron Sidious's child is not going to orphan Hot Rod, which happens all the time and bites people.
Yes, but he
You know what?
doesn't have anything for the pot or Terunia, so
No. Oh, okay. Not gonna go to Death Mountain Trail after that. Just resetting. Has Riley
he's
seen this
gonna.
yet?
Nope, that's his first time seeing it.
It's gonna be. Oh, okay. Thanks. So that wasn't a help. Gonna minuet out of there. It's like Sora's thinking a little bit. There's nothing in Boulder of Destiny. Just $20. Sora gonna check Tektite Grotto, looks like.
Yeah, it's a little weird to check it this early, but maybe he wants to go down to Gerudo Valley after.
Yeah, presumably this gets followed up by Gerudo Valley. And that gets you 2 more checks and hello?
There's
That's
a bottle. Looked like an empty one though.
Yeah, but Gerudo's letter is notoriously hard to spot. We'll see if Riley also goes there, or if we find Gerudo's letter elsewhere. Riley disappointed by Mido's house. Required skull mask and a child worker is going to be getting the bunny hood after. So, Diesler, in today's test settings, I believe you have to go through the entire mask exchange quest in order to pick up bunny hood. I believe they have been nerfing that.
I believe I think we're starting with Keaton, and you have to go through from there. I think there's just been a little bit of pushback on the power of the bunny hood. Some people don't want it immediately available.
Yeah, and
it's reasonable.
Yeah, the thought has been then that child requires very little execution skill when you can just push forward on the stick. Sora, unfortunately, having problems with the chicken. Oh no! Oh.
Well, there's fire arrows at least.
Okay.
But I guess we'll have to see if Riley can check that waterfall for us.
And let's see. I don't think
Sora hasn't bought
any
sticks yet. No, it's Riley who's bought a few.
Riley is going to cat. Because when you have Prelude, the owl usually means going to cat. Or it might mean going up the chain and picking up a pile of rupees.
It looks like we're gonna see possibly early chickens here from Riley.
Yeah, this is... are we...
Yep.
looking to check Dompe as well?
Well, it's almost nighttime,
yeah,
so you might as well.
Close. But we are seeing chickens.
Yeah, it looks like Riley's just trying to get as many child checks out of the way early here as he can. Probably minimize how much he has to come back as child.
Sora's doing Serenade out to the lake. You can check what's on Rudo's letter check. You can do child fishing. So Sora does have plenty of cash. And set your scarecrow. Okay.
Okay, so
showing us.
We did have the closed gate. He had to turn in the letter first.
But it's a nice, fast-moving gate.
And it looks like Sora's going to join him. They probably both want to just grab this hammer as soon as they can.
Yeah, since they both know that fire is a required dungeon. Back walking with chickens. Nothing terribly exciting. Assume Sora remembers to turn in the letter here. The thing about testing all these settings is sometimes you forget which ones you're actually in the middle of doing. Because they're changing on a practically hourly basis. I'm not sure I've ever seen 2 races with the same settings yet. Because they keep on scrambling them up. I've seen Stonebridge, where you get 2 stones and then you pick 5 medallions for the Ganon's boss key. I have seen 3 Stonebridge. I think this is the first one I'm seeing where it's... That's actually probably not the first one I'm seeing, where it's some number of medallions to open the bridge and then you continue collecting medallions. I've seen Bunnyhood immediately available and not. I've seen random cuckoo count on and off. Riley leaving. I assume going to wait about another 10-15 seconds and then run back in.
Yeah, now, unfortunately for this part, though, we don't have Song of Time, or I'm sorry, Sun Song, so we're not going to be able to get the next mask once we set it to night here.
Thank you, Sith Girl, for your Twitch Prime subscription. Remember, if you have a Twitch Prime account and you don't have your subscription given to anyone, you can donate it to Silver Gauntlets. We do have some reward set up. Dictionary. Spoiler law grace. At $250, we do that. Okay, well, Riley's picking up skulls. Sora's picking up Keaton Mask. Do you know what time of day it was, roughly, when Sora went back into market?
I think it just turned morning for Sora.
Okay.
Which is why he's doing this. He couldn't... It would take forever to wait for Dompe. So we've got plenty of time to get the masks, I think.
Yeah, kill a little bit more time. Going up the chain, then walking back. Cack. And Riley indeed hitting up Dompe. Does Dompe have a reward?
It's a slingshot.
That's... okay, you know what? That's useful. If you might have to pick up 40 skulls for your magic, that means you don't have to start counting sticks anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like we're going right off to get another skull here.
Maybe followed by child fishing?
Yeah, we haven't seen child fishing yet, so I would expect Riley to get that done. Sora's just finishing the mask quests as fast as possible, it looks like.
Not unreasonable.
Oh, and it's a good thing we got the minuet, because
Yeah,
otherwise we'd have a long walk.
that would be awful.
And also Riley checking...
Repeat.
Yeah, Riley checking these hints again. You don't normally want to come out to these if you don't have to, but Grotto's turned off. You have less places to get your hints, so that knowledge is very important. when you can get it.
Alright, well, Sora now choosing to buy a shield and a pile of sticks. Purple saying he needs to waste time of day anyway.
Yeah, that's unfortunate with his route. He wants to get to daytime again for the masks.
No, fishing it is. So, Anosep, the starting point with adult shootings with Serenade, Child drops you off in Lamon Ranch by the silo. The reason that Sora is rushing right now is because we know that Skull Mask has the hammer, and Fire is Medaillon. It's like Riley's just gonna
Start our Scarecrow. Yep.
and I guess check what would be on Rudo's letter.
Gonna redo a Scarecrow because he kind of messed it up.
Oops. Songs are hard.
Well, third time's the charm.
Sort of a hook shot in the wolf poster auto right now. Well worth it, too. I guess Riley probably already saw what was on that check. I didn't manage to see it. Warping back and picking up a mask. I'm sorry, Purple, if I'm a robot.
You were just for a second. You seem good now. Alright, but now Sora's finally getting the hammer, so we should get some real action here once our runners finish up their little fetch quest.
Yeah, go over to Death Mountain Trail. Go adult, go over there. You got Bolero. Pick up your song. See what's there.
Yep. And Riley's still hard on the skulls here, just in case that 40 is our first magic.
It's entirely possible. Sora ducking back in to check that scrub, which I believe was just a bloopy. Riley going over to Boulder of Destiny, which I believe was $20. So yeah, Sora going adult. Riley going back to turn in Keaton's, or to sell it.
So let's see what Sora does here as the first to go back adult with the hammer and the hook shot. Probably Bolero out.
Yeah, I would check Crater. The idea of going into fire at 5 hearts and without a bow is not terribly appealing.
He has a bow too,
Oh, right, he does have a bow. What am I saying? He got.
And we also have the wallet, so
we could go get a tunic if we want.
It's in logic that we could do fire.
Yeah, so maybe it is going to be
but
followed up by a dip into fire.
We get ZL as most likely our way of the hero here.
Shocking. Oh, really? Zelda's Lullaby is way of the hero, you don't say.
Oh, no.
Only 98% of seeds or something is required.
Well, I'm just saying, there could be more in this crater.
Yeah, it could be more. It could be strength in a grotto. or in the wall. Hovers. We're gonna. Oh, we are not peeking the wall. We're just zipping up to the top. So there's nothing in the grotto. There's nothing on the volcano. We are. My imagination, or did Sora not peek or check the wall at
I
all?
don't think he looked at the wall at all yet. He might come right back in after the ferry here.
Maybe.
Oh, but on the other side, Riley playing the slingshot
Yeah.
target. There's a strength.
Okay.
So that's something Sora happened to skip out on by missing Dompe digging. And the hint, oh,
There's
you
your
love to
collecting
see it.
stick-out hint. After you do it.
Yeah, not going to the wall. Maybe he noticed it and we didn't see it real
Coming
quick.
up
But
from Bolero, maybe?
yeah, maybe this the second he warped. But we'll get another chance to look when Riley goes.
Yeah, and straight into DC. And pretty sure this is a stone, but it's a lot of
Yes.
fast checks. And it gets you another hint.
It is. Let's see. Well, on the other side, if Riley gets the bow, he'll be able to do all of Medaillon Forest.
I can see that hint, but
Something about
Gerudo
Gerudo Valley Heart.
yeah, that would be Hammer Rocks, right?
Yeah, it would have to be the hammer.
I'm doing the old-fashioned write stuff down on a piece of paper. We don't have a spreadsheet ready for this stuff yet.
Ooh, hover boots.
Yeah, DC just paid off. You're gonna need those. Riley picking up storms. Going off to Bolero. Are we gonna see the same thing? There is Greg in DC. Sorry, Purple, I didn't catch that. That may have been Heart Piece in the Wall. Did anyone in chat manage to see that?
I think it's going to be safe to say, though, at this point, that it's nothing.
Sora back walking across with those hovers instead of having to turn around.
Yep. Riley just kind of following along.
Yeah, will he do anything different?
Well, let's hope he gets the bow out of the trail. He should. And then it'll be interesting if he says, hey, I can do forest, or hey, I should still do stone to dongos.
So Sora has managed to pick up a free Deku shield and a nut upgrade also. Yeah, the Sora used the hover boots to go from the little ledge by the bombable wall in the, I guess you call it the spike room in DC, onto the top of one of those tall blocks.
Mhm. Now Sora choosing not to go out of logic here any further, and instead go get Song of Storms.
And okay, gonna dip forest.
We're dipping without the strength.
This is logic.
It's in logic, and this isn't a terrible play either, just the way the dungeon's set up.
Riley gonna play Song of Storms outside of Dodongo's Caverns because Death Mountain Trail is Wave the Hero.
And there's our bomb
And
bag.
he's there. Okay, that's...
And there's our
that was
letter.
logical. And there's letter. Okay.
But I didn't see. I don't think Riley went to the wall on the trail,
don't-
right?
Think so. Why? I'm a little
I'm not.
confused.
Maybe he just wanted to come back in here for Goron City and then go down to.
Yeah.
Ooh, but that's a
Okay.
good hint to
Bottom
find.
of the well is Wave the Hero. By Medaillon, because you got the hammer, it's really fast.
Yeah, when you have the hammer, you want that.
Riley dropped the chew in the wrong spot first time, so had to wait a loop for the Goron to come back. And it looks like Riley is
He hasn't hit the maze yet.
okay. Well, you can clear out the maze. You got a hammer. Remember, this hit was important, although I don't remember what it was.
It was the
it
other.
Was It was the first Skull Mask one. Right. No longer important.
And nothing else in the maze, so if Sora doesn't go back, not gonna cost anything there.
Yeah, and I assume Riley's going back out to trail, given that
I
he's
would
walking
expect-
out of the maze.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to route this in quick before going down into Dodongo's. But we'll see what he decides once he finds the bow here.
Yeah, I assume he's gonna pick up the bow right here. We got the hammer. You're gonna whack the wall, pick up the bow, and
we're still
Now.
going to Dodongo's?
well,
Ooh,
let's
and-
get fast.
And
So,
Mirror
yes.
Shield. In forest.
And
We're finding a lot of things pretty quick here.
yeah, so we definitely gotta dip into forest for a few different items. This is definitely paying off.
Yeah, this was a
Fortunately,
perfectly
Sora is
fine
gonna
dip.
need to pick up a strength at some point, and we only know where there's one of them.
Yeah, that's the real bottleneck for Sora right now.
So Riley is going to be picking up his hover boots very shortly on this next check. And may clear out DC. I expect Riley will clear it out, given that he has a bomb bag.
He has bombs. It's slow to go to the last 2 checks, but he's here. He may just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah. To find a third thing in the forest, or
Stick upgrade, that's
that's
not
not
nothing.
nothing. But we already got 2 real items. Sorry, Kevin. I don't know if these commands have to be set. I can't do it. They are Death Mountain Crater. That would be Zelda's Lullaby. Death Mountain Trail. We got both a bow and a bomb bag. And Bottom of the Well when we don't know what's there. But we could check it.
We could, but only one of our runners knows that it's Way of the Hero.
Here's our first look at fire.
Yep. So we're going in. Not a lot of hearts here, so. We also don't have a usable bottle right now.
Riley is doing this setup. Yep, just back walk. Pull out your hover boots. There's your free shield. Riley is trying the same setup as Sora, but doesn't make it. So we're gonna get a ground jump. So I can see Sora is up to 6 skulls. Riley is past that. I want to say like 8.
Alright, and now, what does Riley do? It looks like we're going further.
Riley's continuing. Got a bomb bag, don't have to waste chews on opening up the mouth.
So in these settings, it's also interesting to note right now, our runners, Sora doesn't know it, but they could beat both forest and fire. And we have bridge on 2 medallions.
I didn't think forest was one of our medallions. Did I read it wrong?
Is the tracker I'm looking at wrong?
I may have seen it wrong.
Looks like the one we have on the stream says it's a spirit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm missing forest. I only. Excellent. Alright, yeah, so that gives you 2 medallions. So, Riley, I'm pretty sure is going to do forest and fire in some order.
I just think it's a little interesting to point out because we've done, these new settings where Ganon's isn't open to start, but 2 medallions, you open it up, maybe it has something.
Could have a lot of things. Yeah, unfortunately, I only wrote down 5 of the medallions. I was missing one, and that one was forest. Whoops. This is what happens when you write things down by hand.
And it looks like Riley's gamble to go further into Dodongos did not help.
I don't think there are any trials on for these settings.
No, there shouldn't be. There should not be any
I'm
trials.
not sure if they've even been testing trials on.
I don't think they've talked about wanting any on.
Been watching so much rando recently where there are
There's
trials
sometimes,
on.
yeah.
It's like, what are these settings? Cool. Are you doing season 4 or rando? I can't tell already.
It's shuffled, who knows?
Okay, so Riley is
Back to the bow game. Sora has the
instead
boss
of
key here.
resetting.
Yeah, exactly. He could
faster?
have. I mean, he was really close from the dongos.
Yeah, I mean, it
But,
could have been
he,
like a
he could
second
have just
faster.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Sora picked up Furores and is getting out.
Yeah.
And is
Going child again.
where's Sora going?
Well, Sora doesn't have the strength, so
No Nocturne, so it's
could be going to the well unhinted.
Could be. Because you got a pile of bomb shoes. I think that says 13 right
Yeah,
now.
13.
And you have ZL. That's enough to do the well.
Yeah, it's interesting though. He did get the boss key, just with no bottle or anything. That could also be it, wanting to turn that in, the letter.
Okay, well, Riley is about to pick up Rudo's letter.
Yeah, Riley's just
on
gonna.
the first check of Forest.
Yeah, he's just gonna make a clean run here through Forest. If he can make that jump.
Oops.
I hate that jump.
Well, you know, you have hovers and you have a hook shot. Use
Always
one of
hook shot
those.
that thing, always. That jump
Um,
hates you.
Oh, Sora's gonna check
These
the
hints.
Din Fire Fairy.
Yeah, and the fairy and the hints up here. You know, this is actually a pretty strong play to get hints. Sacred Forest Meadows,
That's
one
our
of
last
ours.
one. And that would be Song of Storms, presumably.
Storms. I want to say we got something. Oh, we got hookshot in the grotto, didn't we?
That's true.
Yeah. So the hint doesn't really help in this case, but
No, it doesn't. We've cleared it out.
we've cleared. I mean, it might push him more towards the well since he doesn't have the other hint, but. We get another bottle.
Okay, you can go back to fire now.
Not gonna go get the other hint further up, it looks like.
Is Sora also gonna check out the hints around the lake?
Well, hopefully we do.
Oh no, I think we're going to do Dompe. Our time of day is very good right now. Potential. Assuming that you can get there fast enough. I actually don't know if that's fast enough, but it looks like.
He should be able to if he goes straight here.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time.
There. And then
So
follow that up by going in the well.
Yeah, that's slingshot, which will lead to a strength.
Assuming that Sora goes back into the woods as a child.
Right.
That one does get orphaned often enough.
It does, but now that you're back as a child, you do have Minuet, so.
And Sora's picking up skulls, and I believe we'll see our check on 10. Riley has more skulls, but hasn't been around in CAC. Oh, Sora opting to skip, spending a chew on that one.
Riley with the mirror shield now.
Riley will be able to continue in Forest, which is nice, so we will see some new stuff.
Sora even gonna pick up some bugs here. Looks like both our runners are just committing hard to getting 40.
I mean, I feel like it's...
I don't blame them.
No, I don't blame them either. I feel like you might as well just commit. Because if you bank on finding magic elsewhere, then the idea of then having to go get your 40 skulls is just awful.
Look, you just dot quit. Simple.
Hey, Pappy Grant. Welcome to our first restreamed Season 4 settings race. There's Sora picking up a slingshot.
And we're also gonna get... I don't think Riley went in here.
No.
He didn't have ZL.
Correct, because that required Bolero as an adult.
Yeah, he did this before he went back. So this is our first look at this song.
Yeah, potential settings. We don't know. Everything is in flux. You'll see something maybe kind of like this.
Yeah, there's some settings that people seem to have mostly agreed on. Like the Free Zelda song. That seems pretty concrete at this point. I won't say 100, but that's the most likely to stick around.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, every race has early access to Ganon's castle. Just sometimes it's on stones and sometimes
Stones
it's on
or
medallions.
medallions, yeah. But we got Requiem now in the graveyard.
Which is a bunch of things we haven't seen yet. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh. Nope. Didn't make it.
Having problems getting stuck on that door. And is gonna bail.
Yeah, you take one shot at that if you whiff. It's not worth going back.
Well, maybe if Graveyard is Hitted Way of the Hero, you
Maybe then, yes.
If you get, like, Prelude on a song check there. And Sora is gonna go into the well, and Riley gets a wallet fill. So, does Riley bother getting a tunic?
We'll see.
Tunic card.
Kevin, you can't wait until you're almost at the door with the way flame storage works. You have to still be in range of the torch you pulled the flame from, or your stick won't be lit when you pull it out. So Sora did pull it out like the last second. It's a tight side hop race to get up there.
Yeah, and then you have to line yourself up with the door correctly, or you're not.
The door is the biggest problem.
Absolutely. What is in the well? Let's see. Is it a ZL locked check? Is it a bomb locked check? Is it just something that's open?
And what would we like to see most here? Boomerang, probably, so we can just go get Jabu while we're still child.
Yeah, boomerang or strength.
Strength would also be good. That might hurt Sora. He might orphan the...
You don't want to see something that... Actually, long shot, because water is a medallion. You don't want to see
Long shot.
something that says, "Oh, here's your Way of the Hero tunic." That's
Yeah.
not
Well,
what you want.
if it's a tunic, it would be Zora at this point. It's irons.
Well, I mean, sure.
Yeah, you take it.
Yeah, you take it. It's like, cool. That's not really what I'm looking for.
It's not really progressing us, but
It's better than a Zora tunic. But it's not really what you want. Strength was on target in the woods. And Riley is doing the ever exciting forest temple.
yeah.
Which is just why we're paying no attention to it whatsoever.
I'm occasionally seeing what he picks up, It's
Like, okay, you made it to another poke, cool.
we got a little bit of a
Scale.
better pickup, scale.
Okay.
Some better movement. Now, what I'm interested in seeing is if one of our runners finds the Kakiri sword, as that's now required for Deku.
Stones are Deku and Dodongo.
Yep. And I don't know that he needed the scale. We already had a logical bomb bag.
Is there anything more exciting in the well? Please? Please give us something a little more exciting.
Yeah, give us like the lens or something at least, right?
Oh no, no!
Yes, Rob,
Yeah.
it is Way of the Hero hinted. Sora didn't know that and went without the hint. Riley has the hint. And has not gotten back.
The well is pointed to for a Way of the Hero Sacred Forest Meadow, and Storms and Hookshot are the two things there.
We had a straight up well hint as well.
Yeah, I don't remember where that was, though.
It was somewhere that Riley found it, but Sora missed.
But, it was obliquely hinted at for Sora as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Rob, the blocks did work. I remember hearing that the block push in Forest was broken due to some unknown bug.
Oh, we broke it?
A few days ago. That you would, push them, and they'd almost touch, but not quite, so you couldn't progress. I don't know what the issue was. I never heard of it being fixed, just that it would... Sometimes it would cause problems. And
Right.
I think you had to, reload Forest Temple or something to do it.
And Sora saying, whoops, I knew that was a key. After he went all the way down there.
Riley's so close to being done with Forest. Sora gonna pick up this one more skull now that can be obtained without a chew. And hasn't checked 10 skulls yet, right?
I think he did. I think it was nothing.
It was not okay. Well, I missed it.
hopefully Sora goes up and gets the spawn bag since our chew count's getting low.
I think we're gonna see it. Can't imagine walking past it now.
Yeah, it's just a question, what is his play here? Is he going to go to the target and then maybe dive over to the river?
I mean, that's reasonable. River's a few more checks.
Yeah,
We
you
do
got-
have Requiem, and we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's got river, domain, and you could turn in the letter, which opens up ice for the future. He does also have the ability to go out to Spirit and let us, see what's out there for the first time. I think he didn't get any. It was Riley who did the rolling Goron. So we're gonna get
Yes.
that in the pot here, I think.
Link the Goron was nothing. Pot has so far not been hinted. I don't know if there is the possibility of the pot being hinted.
Ooh, and Riley getting a little third wave here of Phantom.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Then he goes up high and is a pain to hit back. Oh, but he's kinder there.
Bomb in. And what do we get? Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, that's exactly. You don't want the hard mode. But now Riley, he's going to check the hints out here. And I imagine he'll go buy a tunic and do fire. Yeah, plain
Didn't see
Bolero.
that. It was something with a piece of heart. All right. Yep. Riley, you are correct. Riley is getting out of here. That was Sora's second ice trap? Yeah, Invisible Maze is in Shadow Temple.
Yeah, the Floor Master's dead back there.
Yep. Sora's still going for these Skulltulas.
Yep, also looks like he'll be getting the strength.
That's not going to feel good, double dipping Forest.
I mean, I don't think it's terrible with the way the dungeon's laid out. You can kind of get the main room and courtyard.
No, but it's still kind of annoying. As like, really? I
Yeah,
don't think there's anyone who really enjoys doing Forest.
Oh, our chat loves the quad forests in the co-ops, right?
Those are the worst things to do commentary for.
It's a great time.
Because you don't even get things like, you know, in Shadow is super linear, but you get things like people occasionally failing to get up onto the boat and dying. Like, you know, there's a chance of something exciting happening.
See, Tomo, that's the right mindset. You get up, go to the bathroom, get a snack. You get your little break during the 3-hour race.
Sora's just getting a great song here.
Alright, and going back adult. Interesting, skipping out on turning in the letter, checking anything in the river, or anything in Child Spirit.
Riley just impatiently waiting. Come on out. Yes. Barren Forest is a fantastic break for a tracker. Yeah, or Barren Shadow, that both are fantastic. So Sora, presumably going back to finish up Forest, then
Yep.
presumably into Fire.
Yeah, Riley should be picking up the boss key in the main room here. And we'll see if he wants to go deep fire or not. I would imagine
that is
no.
a question. What do you do now?
If I'm Riley, I would probably beat the boss and leave. You still have Well Way of the Hero and some other things you can do. But, you know, he's the better runner than me, so...
Riley having problems with these blocks today.
Yeah, not
Hanging
putting the
on to
hovers
them.
on or...
Yeah, what you really want out of the well is you want the boomerang, and then you can just be basically done as child. But not today. And it looks like Riley's gonna beat the Vajja and get out of here.
Yeah, or
the hammer.
at least see if there's a key there. Because I would say no matter what, it's pretty much always the right play to beat this boss before going up in case of a key that you may need.
I know there was a little bit of chatter about adding getting to the boss without hovers in Fire. Does anyone know if that's under consideration?
There were some considerations for a few new tricks, but based on their feedback at this point, I believe everyone has agreed to not add new tricks, such as the boss door in Fire, B1 skip, etc. I believe I have the sheet up. These tricks add an extra barrier of entry for new players, and don't add a ton in return. So while reducing Way of the Hero bait by adding these tricks in could be nice in one way, it seems overwhelmingly negative reviews to add it. So I don't expect any tricks added to the logic for Season 4.
Herbal mentions that Mido Skip was the other one suggested.
Yeah, particularly Mido B1 and Fire Boss.
Mido Skip is pretty easy, and you could do something like put it in logic only when you have a hook shot, say to aim. And I think it's one of the first typically learned by new runners.
Yeah, that and like B1 are the things you learn early, but again, I think it's fine to leave them out. You're not...
Well, of course, the thing about Mido is that winds up putting in things like Way of the Hero Saria simply for Forest Temple access.
Right.
Well, Riley is done with fire, and going Child, it looks like, to do the well.
Yep, we're just gonna knock out our next Way of the Hero area.
I can't imagine those would ever be
Yeah,
banned.
no one's gonna ban these ones.
The idea of now having to do AD for Saria's song for Forest access is just appalling. Sar will be our Forest Temple runner now, and Tracker can go take a break.
Riley here
I
having
guess
to use
this is
the owl.
faster.
It's a little faster.
If it's faster to get your Ocarina of Time than walking out, it must be slightly faster to get to CAC. It just seems so strange.
Yeah,
Let's go to the opposite end of Hyrule first, before just going around the corner.
that's one fast owl we got. Yeah, right now we just kind of have our runners stepping on each other's paths. Nothing super new or exciting. So we could talk a little bit more about these changes to the settings. And overall, I think we've got some really good things here with like just swapping up the opening route.
Yeah.
Like you just had this stale opening of, you know, Kakiri to get your songs and all that, and
Are you
now
going to do early adult or 3-song route?
Yeah,
Pick
but
one.
now you get a song to start with, and you know that could completely change how you want to start your seed with whatever song you get. And further much, who knows where you're gonna appear at the beginning.
You know, the possibility that you wind up early on in Lake.
Exactly.
That's
this,
interesting.
I think it's very interesting for the routes. Now tonight, not so exciting. Obviously, Kakariko. I mean, Kakariko adult start is pretty handy for the runners. The Lon side was like, oh,
that's not good.
well, but we're not using this one.
Nope. I'm just waiting for the day that they start at Desert Colossus.
Ooh, start at Colossus. What would that even...
You'd have to get a warp song out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Reverse Wasteland, not in logic. Well, Riley giving an attempt to
We got it.
Composer's Grave. And gets it. Oh, no! Rob, that makes me so sad.
Are we not putting that into logic to like?
Apparently you can't start at the Colossus.
Aw.
Is that possible in Rando? And you get a warp song right off of Colossus.
Well, even so, there are still some interesting places we could spawn.
I mean, there's interesting and there's interesting, meaning awful. Starting in Gerudo Valley is really bad. If you're on the far side as, say, Child. Anyway, if you have questions about detailed stuff in the settings, talk to Rob. Rob knows this stuff. Okay, so if you start... Okay, so you can start at Colossus, but only as Child.
There is the situation though. Then
yeah, that it's just it requires you to start with a warp song as an I don't know. Of course, you need a warp song out of there. Okay. Yeah, I am not someone who knows anything about the way that things are coded in. So I know nothing about the intricacies of coding in Free Zelda. Okay, that's true. Rob points out you would have to start as an adult elsewhere, and then be as Child in the Colossus, so that's not exactly starting at Colossus. But it is a spawn point at Colossus, which I would really love to see.
It would give us the save quit out there, which is something that would be fun. That shot went into...
Having a few issues with Phantom Ganon, not playing nice. Riley in the well. Phantom Ganon is just not cooperating today. This is just...
Again.
Well, there's Riley picking up irons.
Sora resorting to the faraway tennis net.
Whack.
Oh. There we go.
Finally done with Phantom Ganon. Gonna pick up that medallion.
Yeah, thanks, Rob, for the clarifications here. And Sora...
I guess Sora's gonna go to fire, pick up second medallion. I guess head to Ganon's castle because Sora's already done the well.
Sora could go to Ganon's or... Well, he can't go to... He could get the song at Spirit and see the outside, but no second strength yet. which is again why maybe you would have wanted to go as a child.
As a child with a slingshot, you can make some progress. Riley got 2 medallions, but hasn't gone to Ganon's castle.
No,
Is he gonna do Zora's domain, river sort of checks, or is he gonna go adult?
it's also a good question. He picked up Requiem as well, so
Yes.
I think we might see the play to Child Spirit on his end.
I mean, you can do Requiem and then Serenade and go down the river. How long do you want to be looking for things as child versus trying to make additional progression as adult?
Right. Well, the issue with the adult side is we don't have a ton of logical access to things.
No.
We could dip water, but you'd really hate to do that. Ganon's castle would be the likeliest to play.
Yeah.
We don't have Eponas or a long shot for logical GTG, so you would probably choose Child Spirit over it right now.
Walking out of the well.
Could be going up the river.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
I'm not
he would
sure
do
if he
after...
did he check the 10 skulls yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we're gonna see, and then we're gonna see maybe Requiem, or maybe Serenade, or maybe Prelude.
And when we get Requiem.
Okay, we will get to look at this now.
Yeah, see if we get like Nocturne or Eponas out here. I think you're hoping to find Nocturne at this point. You almost have to. There's not many places it can be. Could be in ice. But Shadow is the
Well, you can
Forest
get
Medallion, so that's 2 spots we know it can't be. We know it's not on. Yeah, it's either here or in ice, from what we know.
Walking back out, and let's see what it is.
Oh, it's in ice.
The so useful Song of Time. Yeah, okay.
Riley's probably not too happy, but
I did not see what was on top of the arch. Did you manage to see it?
I didn't quite, and we can't see it now.
It was a bomb
refill.
refill. Thank you, Kerbal. The
Kerbal
arch is
always doing
dead.
good work.
People with giant monitors. Let's see if there's anything on the ferry here. Now Lavadia's down for a second time. What's Sora doing?
What will Sora do from here? Maybe Ganon's.
Yeah, there's you got a few warp songs, so you can got some
Looks
options.
like Riley's just gonna make the Child Spirit play.
Well, you got a slingshot.
Yeah, no, he's fine to
And you
progress
still
all
don't
the
have
way
magic, so even though you have fire arrows,
up. Yeah, I like
there's
this
the fire
play.
lock checks.
You'd like to find Boomerang again before you head up and turn in that
boy,
letter.
yes. Yeah, that's true. Riley does not have fire arrows because those were in Gerudo Valley, and Riley knows that the other check is a heart piece.
Well, he knows the hammer, I think, is. We don't.
That's
I don't
true.
think it.
Sorry,
We
yes,
haven't.
but the hammer rocks. We don't actually know what's behind the waterfall.
We haven't seen the waterfall because Sora unfortunately lost the chicken.
Yeah, accidentally got stuck on the box, holding onto the edge. Pretty lousy.
We are gonna see Ganon's from Sora, which again is an interesting piece to this new settings puzzle.
One of the mid-game changes they tried to put in place.
Yeah, it's gonna be, how much do you like value pushing this area once you have 2 medallions? As opposed to something like Child Spirit.
I think it has to do with how many items you're missing. I mean, they're missing still a pile.
Well, yeah, we're missing a fair amount. And Riley, 1 key, so he can go further if he wants to.
And there's no sign of strength too, so I think it's not at all a bad idea. Find out if there's anything in the Spirit Trial. Where does Sora go after this? Assuming there's nothing here, where do you go?
Assuming nothing in Sora's spot, I think you're going back Child to Spirit. You could dip Adult Lake first, just to grab a few checks there. You could try to find the boss key in water.
I mean, to me, it just feels bad, like, oh, you didn't turn in your letter. And while
Yeah.
you're here, you can't go ice. Ugh.
Yeah, well, Sora doesn't know yet that Nocturne is going to be over there.
Yeah, but
he
there's
will
so
once
many
he...
checks in ice at this point.
Yeah.
When you're
I mean,
looking for that pile of items, and you're still looking for Nocturne.
yeah, it's this weird, like...
You're looking for logical access to GTG, potentially.
Oh, magic.
Hey,
That's
you
big.
Can stop with the skull collection.
Well, we could slow it down.
30. We haven't seen 30 yet.
We
There's
haven't
a hint
seen...
for 30 somewhere.
But now we don't need 40.
But now you're not pushing it as much. Just pick them up when you're in dungeons.
So that's pretty big pickup. If we find a Din's Fire, we'll be able to get into Shadow. Well, once we get Nocturne. But
there goes Sora keeling over.
and he does have fire arrows, so we can get the second Shadow.
Well, he's returning, so
He's also got. Did he do Forest yet?
yeah.
Well, he didn't do the top.
I think Sora's gonna forget because after you do that first check in Shadow, you can shoot across with a fire arrow to bring those blocks in. And you don't have to try to do the hovers.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mistake to skip, but hopefully it won't cost anything. Riley, still going in spirit, not really getting anywhere.
No. I don't actually remember when the last time was that Riley saved in terms of the key count. But Riley saved now. Alright, well, Sora has made it up to that chest, and there's nothing in there, unfortunately.
And now we're gonna get Song of Time. and realize we gotta go to ice.
Well,
boss
there's
key.
boss key of spirit. So
So long shot in play for beating spirit. Doesn't really tell us a lot, but
Serenade tells us maybe gonna turn in the letter.
yeah, I think Riley checks out the river, turns in the letter. He knows he needs Nocturne eventually.
See what's in ice.
That's Din's under there.
Yeah, it is. Cool. All right, we got Dins.
Oh, we got.
Yeah, I didn't see that earlier. I figured well, the rudder saw it and
I don't
didn't
know that
think it was
Riley
anything.
looked.
But I just didn't get to see it.
That could be a problem if Sora didn't look at that.
I don't.
Which, I mean,
don't
Sora
have a
has
great
the
sense of
scale.
whether they're quickly glancing at it because
I feel like
Sora
hadn't. There's no way Sora saw it because he was already a child with the scale. He would have just grabbed it when he warped out to the lake. Oh, 30 skull.
That was
Deku
real
Nut.
fast.
It was Deku Nuts. It's dead.
30 dead, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So
We
if
stop
the
at 20.
Yeah, so if the info I have is correct, we are still looking for the hints for Bigoron Sword and frogs.
Yes, we haven't seen those as far as I know. Sora now becoming a child. Actually, the Nocturne. The Nocturne in ice could work out for Sora if we play Serenade to get up there.
What's Sora? Where's Sora going?
Are we?
Bombchu bowling.
Yeah, bowling first.
We haven't seen that yet. Will there be anything on Bombchu bowling? And the answer is not on the first one.
And not on the second.
Not on the second one.
And we are getting the Serenade. So this is going to work out nicely for Sora here. Because I don't think they knew that Dins was out here. It just happens that, hey, you got to turn in the letter, so we're coming through this way anyway.
Light arrows were on Kokiri's sword check. Double defense was Zora diving. Riley not choosing to go down the river. Just warping out.
It's a little bit odd. I would say there's 2 hint stones in the river and 3 quick checks.
Is Riley going to go to Ganon's castle?
I have to imagine he's going to with this adult play. But oh no, he's going straight to get Nocturne. Well, maybe. Oh, no, changed his mind.
Oh, I think just remembered about the Ganon's Bridge. Yeah, it's on 2 medallions today, not on 2 stones, not on 3 stones, not on 3 medallions.
Wants the fire. He wants the fire, and he's gonna get paid out with magic.
Perfect. Yeah. Actually, just going there to get blue fire to speed up ice, or at the end of ice. That's great.
Great that it's just gonna. Everything's just working out great for our runners here. Like, oh, we have to go turn in the letter. Hey, there's Dins on the way. Oh, I need to get blue fire now. Oh, there's magic. So we'll have both runners then able to beat Shadow. And you'd imagine we'll probably find something in there to just keep us going on our path.
And Sora pulling out. I guess we're opening up Jabu. On Set for Roar's Wind.
Yeah, Sora can
Alright.
also set
Pick
the
up a
Fairward.
fish. Pick up a fish, do the first check. You get Rudo up to the top. If you want to check those two stones, sorry.
And yeah, in terms of what we're missing, strength for spirit, long shot for water, boomerang for Jabu. And that's all we got.
Because we just recently found magic, we can stop on the skulls. And there's the fish for Sora. Riley getting a little annoyed by those fire slugs. And Sora will be picking up Strength 2 from diving. Vanilla Ring,
You mean
well, it
double
could
D?
be. Sometimes it is. I've never seen it personally, but I have heard of it happening.
I had it once, and it led to nothing. I was so upset.
Oh no. Alright, well, Riley on the right chest and ice is... Well, I always call it ice trial, even though it's technically the water trial. Picks up magic. Gonna pick up a bottle of blue fire. Gonna head on over to Ice Cavern.
Probably clear out Shadow 1. He can't do Shadow 2.
No fire arrows, no dins, no long shots.
So
we do have dins. So we can go back, we hook shot the torch, then it's something like that. And then you just use dins on the torch.
Can you reach that with regular?
I want to say you can.
I don't
maybe
think...
I'm getting a little mixed up.
I think you're getting mixed up.
Okay. I want to say that I've seen people do it with dins, though.
But either way, neither runner check it, so hopefully nothing there, because I don't think we're coming back for a while.
Hopefully not long shot. Oh, maybe possible with dins, but not in logic. Yeah, I swear I've seen someone do it at some point with dins. But yeah, does not mean it was in logic. Okay, so we are going to get a look at the second stone in fountain and do the fairy check.
Ooh, interesting way to get in from Riley.
Yeah, I've seen that occasionally.
Normally I see runners just go straight up to the right from coming out of the dive,
people
but
really like their setups.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so I think that it was blurry to me, but I think that Hint outside of the Great Fairy Fountain was a repeat of 30. Nothing on Unfreezing King Zora.
No.
I mean, Riley's now a healthy boy. 30's dead. It was pieces of something.
I think like Deku nuts.
And we're going to see a repeat of these checks by Riley. Yeah, it was Deku Nuts.
Hopefully we get an item out here in ice and not just be out here for a song.
Yeah. Well, when do we start getting a dip into water?
I don't think for a little while, because we can now full clear shadow. I think we're gonna see both runners.
Well, what if there's nothing in shadow, though?
Well, then we might see
Then
the
maybe
water.
you start doing it, because, you got Serenade. It's not... You're looking for the boss key anyway, and you can clear a number of checks. Looks like it was just a gold rupee at the bottom of Icy Waters.
Yep.
And I'm not sure what was on the iceberg, but I assume Riley saw it was nothing. Burrito makes the best weapon.
Yeah, the shadow forced medallion will give us either Epona's or Sun Song.
Well, we're about to see our last available check in Jabu. It will probably be nothing.
Could it be vanilla?
That would be fantastic for
Not
Sora,
not for Riley. Just a bloopy.
Well, okay. So then you... hey? Sora? Oh, I guess what you do is if you want... Yeah,
We can
I
put the
guess you can
Ferors
walk
in.
over, you go in there, you set furores once you're inside the room.
Yep.
And then you don't have to
And you don't need
pick
her.
up and carry Rudo. That makes sense.
Oh, ice trap in the ice cavern. Who'd have guessed? I still really want to see Kakiri sword somewhere here. Just give our runners something
French
to think
vanilla
about.
ice. Sure. Not from a bat. I'm expecting Thoris to do the same thing as going over to ice.
Yeah, he has everything for Shadow but the song, so there's not
Will we get a
really
look at the
anything else
river,
to
though?
do. I still would like to see those two other checks and maybe
Okay, well,
the hint
Riley
stone.
has 20 skulls. So now he's done. So far, nothing in ice.
Nothing in
There's been an
ice.
ice trap. There's been some pieces of heart.
Sora still skipping the last Goron City maze chest. We know it's dead, but
Side hop your way into the water.
Little interesting to pass by there and not check.
Looks like Sora's doing this exact same strat.
Look, they gotta show off for us, I guess.
What is that called? It's not exactly a side hop. Like the diagonal. It is actually a side hop.
Riley just doing the old ground jump.
Blue fire to unfreeze King Zora on the ice.
No.
Jumping in the water.
Mm-hmm. Clean ground jumps from Riley to make quick work of the maze.
Fully vanilla ice cavern push block is just irritating. So slow. See if there's anything in the last check and ice.
More health.
Okay, well, Riley's a very healthy boy. And it's time for Nocturne. A dungeon where you just can't speed it up. Except by like a minute at the end.
Wait. Bombs, I think? I want to say that was bombs.
Yes, Figuron dead. Okay, that's one more of those down.
Not today, Eyeball Frog. Not today. I gotta say, if there's one change I personally would like, just let us start with the claim check. Don't make me deal with the frog.
Well, you could do scrub settings where you the only item available is the claim check.
Well, believe me, when we play with friends, we sometimes do.
It could also be way worse. It could be rando, where you could start with any number of things like the poacher's saw.
Not the saw, not the egg.
One carpenter randomized location. Sounds pretty awful, actually. So Sora's about to get frozen.
Yep.
And get frozen again.
Oh no, NPC shuffle.
So this Dead Hand in Shadow is done. Are we gonna find anything in Shadow?
Yeah, there's 3 items we would like to see.
Are we gonna see any of them?
You know, alternatively, we could find Kokiri Sword, Lens of Truth. Nothing, and all we get is Epona's song out of this?
I have to say I'm liking these comments in chat with the NPC shuffle. Damn, my Malon was today on highest score on.
Oh no, if you shuffle
like,
characters with the Gorons.
Seems like you would do it once just to say you've done it. But even just the one Carpenter Shuffle just sounds awful.
No, the Goron thing sounds awful. You're like, uh-oh, the windmill guy was up on highest Goron, so you had to go up there for that
Yep.
song.
Combine it with Ocarina Shuffle. You might have to go to something
The Dying Guard.
Looks like Sora's trying some glitchless jumps, maybe, or nope, just pulling out some bombs.
Resorting to the ground jump, and hopefully not falling out here. Still an uneventful shadow so far.
Oh look, there's a key. There's a lot of keys in Shadow.
Oh, Sora was trying to get the swag.
Yeah.
The swag backflip there. Just barely missed it.
Looks like Riley angrily throwing nuts. The giant skulls. Riley in the invisible spinner room, and I always have to wonder how this room goes with one hit KO turned on. I know there
Can't
was that
imagine it's fun. Uh-oh.
Oh, Kokiri sword.
Deku
Cool.
tree is in logic now. We can get there.
Okay.
That's what we wanted to see, right?
Is it? I mean...
That's what we wanted to see. It's not what he wanted to see, but, you know.
Ocarina of Time was Saria's. So, Sora will just pick up a full heart container off of Big King Wheat.
And we'll see if he goes down the river after this, since he had to come out.
We still haven't.
But it looks like we're going straight to the shadow.
Well, we're going to Shadow.
Not gonna bother.
Yeah, we still have not seen bottom. Oh, okay.
But now we're looking better.
2 in Shadow.
Well, I know where we're going next.
Yep. I mean, at least we don't have a magic locked magic. We might have a strength locked strength. That's still possible here. So I'd love to know what proportion of seeds have strength 3 locked behind strength 2 or magic 2 locked behind magic 1.
Good question. We need my boy Killy here to generate us a few thousand seeds and find out some statistics.
Because is it as often as we actually think it is, or is it just bias? But we remember all those times. Well, and there's our second bow in Shadow. In the chest that occasionally has your hook shot in it, and that's always special.
Yeah, and here's an interesting use of Pharaohs to make it a little quicker to get out of the silly pot
You're
room.
just
It looks
checking
like.
what's in the pot. You don't care about anything else. Just run over there with the chew and warp out as soon as you see it's nothing. Instead of, trying to get those keys and, well, So it's a key.
We needed it, but it's nice seeing these little optimizations from our top runners. As I want to remind everyone, Riley is still in the co-op tournament semifinals. Hopefully we'll get some more games of that underway soon. As I just compliment him and he messes up the setup.
Yeah, he's a top runner. Pretty sure.
All right, second try, we got it.
This is one of those rooms that occasionally just Navi gets in the way.
Oh yeah, that sign
Like,
up
Navi,
there.
stop, Navi! Trying to get the chest. There's that chew.
Oh,
Around the room.
nailed by the
yeah,
pot,
just
and
let
then
me
no.
talk about being a top
No.
runner. Oh yeah,
Riley.
getting a hug. Getting several hugs. Wow. They just want to be your friend.
You hate to see it. We got our last small key here.
But
I think
still missing items.
we're missing items, so I think we're still gonna go check.
Items. So not wise to skip the last rooms. And here's the wonderful, entertaining boat ride where the only time it ever gets exciting is when someone falls off.
Yeah, but like I said, he's a top runner, so there is zero chance. Zero. Hey?
Right. Just trying to get that Stalfos off the back. Just board squatting. Is there anything in these back rooms? Pulling
Well,
out dins.
I believe we had the other room hinted as dead. I don't know if
Yes.
Riley saw it. I forget who saw it.
Don't remember where that was, but yeah, we did see it. It was a piece of heart. But do we got anything here?
Oh, the boss key. We still
Just the
needed
boss
that.
key, no actual items that we're looking for.
And yeah, it looks like Riley had seen the hint. So we'll take out Bongo and go clear out Spirit.
Maybe the boomerang will fall out of there,
Or long shot.
long shot. Maybe Twin Rover will drop one of those.
Well, Twinrova's not going to give us the long shot based on spirit key logic. Could be Boomerang. Could be Lens of Truth.
Oh, no.
What? I just want to play some treasure chest mini games.
Every time the Lens of Truth comes out of a seed and people are just doing like I guess I'm gonna do the chest mini game today. That last check in market. Market is way of the hero. Well, Bongo's down.
Yep, pretty clean 2-cycle.
Does Bongo have anything? Sora pulling out the same trick. Set your glowing green ball, walk through into the other room.
There it is. There's your long shot.
Okay, what do you do now? You do spirit.
Spirit, then water.
And then what happens if you don't find Boomerang in either one of those? Do you after defeating Morpha, do you clear out water? Or do you go Deku?
Or GTG.
Or GTG, because that will be an accident. Logically an accident. Yeah, you definitely hope for Boomerang now.
Yeah. The options, if you don't find it in spirit or in water while you're searching for the boss key, like, I would say Deku Tree is a slightly better spot than GTG, but if it's not there, then you gotta go back adult. And you don't really want to have to keep, bouncing back and forth between times. And we've also still got a bunch of random spots like the river that no one's looked at.
No one's looked at Lower River. No one. Frogs 1. Accessible for a while now.
See, so
Laura,
we got
avoiding the free hugs.
What a shame. We've got a heart piece on the left side, adult spirit. So we're gonna see if we needed to do child for a key. Or no, this has to be a key because of Riley using all of them. That's right, he didn't save any.
Nope, because that was a boss key. Didn't know when he'd get his long shot. So there's your key.
Yep.
Continue on up. Riley unfortunately getting hit by the floor master. Is that a vanilla ice trap? I want to say there's in vanilla an ice trap in that room.
Well, it's been too long since I've played vanilla. I think that's like our 4th one our runners have come across.
It's vanilla or French vanilla ice trap. I forget whether it's the first or the second chest in there.
But now, why aren't we testing Ice Trap Mayhem in this?
The point of this is to be friendly to new runners, right?
What? Ice Traps are
Right?
friendly.
Same reason we're not checking 2x or 4x damage.
What? Quad damage?
No!
We just do quad damage, Ice Trap, Mayhem, Key Sanity.
Yeah,
the
I
your
just
pie
love
way.
it when a rando comes out and you're like,
What? Another Ice Trap.
I love it in rando when the ice traps start coming out and it's, you know, high level damage. You're like, oh my god, I hope this chest doesn't kill me because I'm looking for an item.
Yeah,
But it might.
The quad damage in when you're playing early game in some of those, it's like, can I do this? Is this gonna kill me?
You know, you jump off something high and your finger slips and you don't roll at the bottom. Or a Tektite kills you. That happens.
Tektite kills you. You finish the Dompe race and you try and void out, and you're dead.
Yeah, that's that too. Seen that. Or a one-hit KO, and you're like, I'm gonna go do the Composer Grave checks.
Good luck.
Remember that Freaky Friday race? Everyone went in there, and then they paused and they're like, wait a moment, I can't do a side hop through here. Shit, I can't pick up a stick.
Just carefully navigate this.
And, you know, meanwhile, the Reddits are screaming at you. Well, let's see if Sora manages the one cycle on Bongo.
Ooh, clean stabs.
Nice one cycle. Find a long shot. May or may not be thrilled with that.
Well, just a couple more checks here in Spirit, and then we'll be off to water. Still hoping for a boomerang.
Sora walking towards and going, whoops, that's something I need. Okay, well that's another bottle.
Yeah, but it's only a regular Poe.
Not a big Poe. Sora. Yeah, we did see this because Riley managed it with the stick.
Yep,
It
Riley
wasn't
got this.
anything.
It's like a bloopy or something. It's second slingshot.
And Sora's going into water before Spirit. It looks like.
Yeah, that's the only reason to warp here first. Which, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. You're probably not full clearing this unless the boss key forces you to. And he's got Pharaohs.
Yeah, Riley unfortunately standing in the wrong spot at one point and getting whacked by the axe. Sora having problems getting over there. But we're just gonna drop our warp point in here. Very handy instead of having to raise the water level later. So useful. How awful is Twin Rova going to be today?
Looks pretty kind so far.
They have some weird hitboxes, I feel like.
They do for sure. You can't like aim too high, or you just shoot through them, it seems.
Sora's gonna lower the water, do the cracked wall, presumably go down to the bottom.
Riley getting the hook shots this time. You love to see it. He's making up for the co-op race the last time. He
Did
gets
not
the
see that
quick
last
kill.
co-op race, I think.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. He got the quick, easy kill here. That's how he does it every time. No
Okay,
problem.
well, Sora's getting 2 keys already. But where is that boss key? Accidentally pulls a bomb instead of a bow.
And I couldn't quite see what Twin Rova had, but it's
There was
not our
nothing
boomerang.
to get.
It's not our boomerang. Third key in water.
Right. Top with the keys. Okay, well,
Riley going to join us in the water temple.
yep.
I thought there might have been a chance to reverse Wasteland over to GTG, but I think that would be a little
No,
too
we're
big
just
brain.
going water and hoping that Boomerang's there.
Yeah, it would be a
Gotta
little
go in
too
here
big
anyway. Sora just eyeballing with the hover boots. I know there's a setup, but it's actually like a pile of movements, and it's like just eyeball it.
brain. Well, if you have hovers, it's pretty free.
Well,
the
yeah,
setup,
that's the thing. I think I've seen a
Yeah.
setup with also with the hovers, and it confuses me.
yeah, I don't know why you would set up unless you don't have hovers. Then you really want to learn the setup.
Yeah, it's a free shield. Okay.
Well, that's one
Not
of our.
what we're looking for.
Well, it's one of the items in here at least.
Another key.
Riley
Riley
having a
getting
little
hit by that
tech party.
Okay, so what's your least favorite Tektite out of all the Tektites in the game?
Oh, least favorite.
Like, the ones in Water Temple are actually kind of annoying, because there's a chance they hit you and hit you down to the bottom. Like,
That is true. They can be obnoxious. I kind of hate the one on the top of Death Mountain Trail too, by the Hintstone.
Oh, yeah, because
That guy loves to get in the way.
when you're trying to kill him and you wind up whacking the hit stone repeatedly. Riley's spinning around underwater a little bit. Is that shield flicking underwater? I don't know what's happening, but
He's
that's
spinning
the thing.
around. Boss key.
Okay. Isn't that the first chest you go to if you
That's the one I normally start with.
if you
But-
don't have irons, if you're doing gold scale? I feel like that's the first one you do for gold scale.
I do it with irons. I usually just swim down into that one and then go to the 3 stack, but I've seen routers go different ways. And here we see Sora's still looking for items.
Well, I think
And
what you
now-
do is you do the other quick ones and then you bail. 'cause
Yeah,
you don't
we're-
want to go to Dark Link.
Well, we're definitely not visiting Darklink yet.
trying to get the quick draw on Morpha. Morpha's not having it. And how bullshit he is. Morpha gonna be today.
It doesn't want to be grabbed.
Nope. I mean, it doesn't look like the dot's quite in the right spot, but you know, if you try to wait for Morpha to come closer, there's only so much reach. Alright, this should work. Morpha needs to come on up. Except now it's
There we go.
Excellent, right?
We did it. Are we gonna get paid out for it?
Well, it's a medallion. And another song.
It's another song. We're guaranteed
Actually, no,
to get
sorry,
a bonus.
it's not another song. I'm thinking it's not
Oh.
it's a,
Oh, yeah,
it's not
yeah,
the water
yeah.
medallion.
It's not Jabu.
It's a light
don't-
medallion. So no, we're not getting another song.
Oh, we still haven't seen if Force Medallion gave us Eponas or Suns. And Nikki.
Okay, so where to next?
Sora's got to be Spirit, right?
And then, so we're gonna reverse Wasteland after?
That's the good question there. It's less of a big brain
Isn't
play
then,
at that point.
What's next? And then it's the, well, what's after that? And like, what's after with Riley? Oh, okay.
Riley...
Sure. First, let's do shoot the sun. That makes sense.
It's there.
Oh my good.
It's just sitting there. We're done.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Go get that. Go do your Jabu. Go do your spirit. Go kill the pig. Now, Riley is going to get that basically immediately.
Yep, Riley getting the boss key.
Is I guess Riley's repeating the thing of do what
Yeah.
that other check.
Do the
Or
big
you-
push block because you're here. Well, we don't get a great hunt for a boomerang.
I don't remember where boss key was in the spirit. If Sora gets to make up any time.
It's
by
on the
skipping piles of checks.
child side hand. Because
Oh,
that's why
right, it
Riley
is. Yeah, but it's
why
long
Riley
shot
used the
over.
keys. Yeah, he can long shot over, but
So
it's not quick to get to.
It'll be a little bit of time saved.
a little, but I think Riley's pretty firmly in the lead here,
Yeah.
unless he keeps checking things in water.
Yeah, which he's doing.
He's
Riley,
giving up some
Riley,
of the
let's-
time he has.
kill Morpha and do shoot the sun. Riley. And well, and Sora started Jabu.
That's true. Sora has the
So I don't
Pharaoh
know
was
how
in
much
it
time
too.
That's worth.
That's worth
everything
a,
else because I
worth
don't
a few
know.
minutes.
I can't do the calculus of
I mean,
Spirit
just the
Temple versus.
just getting Rudo up to the top there and having your Pharaohs already set, so you don't have to run all the way up there, get a fish, and it's a couple minutes.
Yeah, I guess it's Riley just keeps on doing these checks.
Yeah,
But,
Riley needs to beat Morph and get out of
fail.
here. And getting that item, I think maybe we're gonna see it.
Go do that.
Say we've gotten enough items out of this dungeon now. yeah, purple. This turned into a bit of a linear thing towards the end.
And Riley manages to do the quick kill on Morpha.
Very clean.
Okay, you just pull out the hook shot and you gotta trap Morpha in the corner there in the door jam, essentially. It's not actually flat. And it's still a corner, so it still counts. Are we allowed to talk about finishes and forfeits on this one that have happened in the background?
I'm not sure.
We can talk about forfeits, I think.
I can't imagine we wouldn't be able to.
Well, there have been 2 forfeits. We might avoid talking about finishes, but we can certainly talk about forfeits, I think. They don't spoil anything.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think once Riley gets this boomerang, hopefully we'll be full go mode here, so...
Yeah, I am expecting some finishes pretty fast.
And Riley doesn't forget to check. We got a ring.
Or botch it by not standing on that, which I've seen. That is definitely a thing I have seen, and the time of day is slightly wrong. Okay, so Riley's gonna. Actually, then we'll just see this song check.
And Sora's now got the boss key on the other side.
Okay.
Sun Song, so... not gonna matter. But now we're in a race
Riley's
of...
got a serenade, swim over, pick up a fish, go up there.
Yep. While Sora finishes out Spirit real quick.
Yeah.
I want to say Riley's got a slight lead, but it's not much.
No, it's pretty close right now. If Riley hadn't spent that time doing additional checks,
Yeah, the central pillar was
check in water.
Central pillar costing him a minute there was a little unfortunate.
See how troll Tunarova is for Sora. Because Tunarova can be troll.
But yeah, overall, chat, how are we feeling about these new test settings?
Yeah, how do you like them as viewers?
So we didn't get super interesting spawn locations, but you know, we didn't have to go to Deku Tree this time, which
That's the sort of thing that they're looking for, though.
exactly. That's what I'm
seeing.
That's what I'm saying. We broke up the old do your Deku Tree 10 minutes in like every time.
Rob, a lot of people are just not gonna touch Master Quest. I'm sorry. Purple, I actually don't know why they removed 1 stone 5 medallion as an option.
I think it's still being considered, the differences. I think this is maybe the favorite right now, but
They're gonna
you know,
keep on
depending
doing
on
more
feedback.
tests.
Yeah, more tests, more feedback. It could change. Like there was that 2-stone 5 medallion one too,
Mm-hmm.
which would be an extra dungeon, but you know, this is far from being a finalized, you know, setting here. So it's definitely important for our runners to play these out, get a feel for them, our viewers here, for y'all to see what it's like, see if you enjoy watching these settings, if you hate watching these settings. You know, get the feedback out there so that the changes can be made and we can get something fun for season 4, you know?
Thank you, Purple. That one stone 5 medallion apparently required large changes to logic and hits. That certainly is something to consider. How long it takes to feed the randomizer into something polished.
Yeah, that's a fair point. There's a lot of work behind the scenes to make these logic changes sometimes. But, you know, even if something doesn't get into season 4, like Purple says, there's season 5. There's other tournaments, you know, Silver Gauntlets with the co-ops and stuff.
Freaky Friday races or other specialty races.
Yeah.
Well, Twin Miraba down.
Twin Miraba down, and Riley does indeed look to be a little bit ahead here.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. Sora presumably is going Child, going to Requiem, going to use Furores. Actually, I will point out that Sora has started the tower climb.
Oh, that's right. Riley didn't actually.
That is a small time save. This is actually going to be fairly close, potentially, depending on what happens with the Ganon fight.
Yeah, that's right. Riley did a lot of the checks in Ganon's, but didn't actually go up.
Nope, did not start the climb. Skipping from season 4 to season 6.
Yeah, season 6, the search for season 5. It got randomized somewhere.
Okay, so I will say that we saw the medallion at about 229.43 on Riley's side. Estimate some amount of time difference there. So we're going, nope, I don't need that chest. Purple, I don't think anyone would want to play Season 1 seed again.
No thanks.
I've watched some of those. I came in with Season 2, but I went back to watch some of Season 1. Oh boy. Yes, they have done Season 1 for Freaky Friday.
Oh, Riley.
Riley just getting hit! Like, that's, you know, those are some of that and, like, the Gwei on top of the lab, I think, you know, are
That
by
room.
far
I hate that room.
those. I've heard people refer to it just as worst room. Oh, Rob correcting us. They did 1.0. It was not Season 1 settings. It was just flat out version 1.0 of the randomizer.
Isn't that even worse?
I think so.
Isn't that back in the day when you had to like go past the guards in the castle and everything and get Epona the hard way? We've come a long way, and the people who've worked on this with the code, I gotta say, they've done a great job. And Riley here getting the quick kill on Baronade. Very nicely done.
Not a surprise. These are some good runners.
Hey, there's our lens.
Who gives a shit? Not us. Riley going, okay, let's warp out of here. Please, now. And I think they're at this point where they're like, am I going to get sniped? And am I going to get sniped?
And Sora going for the boxless.
Yeah, which if you screw up once, apparently, then becomes, oh, you might as well have gone the box. I know there are some runners who don't do it for that reason.
Well, second try. Not bad.
So I guess the question is, will anyone snipe our runners here?
That's a good question. We're looking.
There's the boss key.
Another nice Baronade fight from
Yep,
Sora.
Sword.
Well,
Rolling down those
you can get the
nuts.
boomerang there.
Riley rushing! Rushing!
So Sora turned around, like taking one extra look, like, is that the lens? Do I want it?
Riley's spinning his way up there. Those stupid lizards. Selfos fight. And neither runner has the Vigor sword.
No, we
I wonder
didn't
if
find it
anyone
today.
will find it this race. Riley, unfortunately, getting hit.
Yeah, it's just a little trickier when you don't have the big ore on.
No, it definitely helps. It's
You
not
know,
the
at this
safety strat. That's where you pull out your large stack of chews.
at this point, I'd like to think the big Oron sword's just sitting on that waterfall check we
Yeah.
we dropped by.
Okay, or lower river. So we're pulling out light arrows, bottle, and hammer.
Yeah, at least we got everything else we need to make this fight easy. Looks like he's just about a minute or so behind Riley here.
This is where we go, hurry up cutscenes, hurry up cutscenes.
Oh yeah, like this part of the race for the first game between Riley's team and who were they playing in the last one? Sponge and Namaha. I forget who, it was one of those, like Sponge or Namaha finished first, and then one on Riley's team. And it was like
Nail biting.
who's gonna get it? And Riley and Goomba just pulled it out.
Also taking a hit from an axe.
Yeah, father-son bonding.
That's what he's Sponge and Namaha.
But yeah, that's the kind of suspense you love to have at the very end of a race, or maybe you don't love to have if you're the runner.
Oh no, I want to see that. I mean, not if I were racing. But, you know, as someone doing commentary or someone just watching, oh, you want to watch those super close races where you're pulling out your calculator to go, how much time do they have? And Riley may be our first finisher.
Yeah, unless someone snipes it really, really soon here.
I mean, it's happened, but
Oh, and Sora with the good Ganondorf fight as well.
we'll be able to move basically straight into interview.
Oh, uh-oh. You see what I see? Do you see what I see? Speak of the devil.
There's Sponge at 2:39:21.
As I was just talking about the very close races between him, Riley, and all of these guys. Sponge sniping it away.
Sora seeing that and dropping GG in there. Yep. Okay, well,
Riley
there's
now.
Riley's finish.
What is that? 43 seconds apart.
Yep.
Riley.
Riley has a choice swear for Sponge there. GG's to Riley.
I love our runners. That's some good racing there, just to build up even more for the co-op semis.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
And here we have
Some fun stuff in the race time room in case people have watched that. I
just
like
a
to
little,
keep it open.
little jabs between our runners.
I mean, I think nothing will beat the argument over waifus in that co-op race.
Yeah.
Where one team watched ready to dissolve their team.
And here we get Sora. Looks like he'll have third.
Yeah, I think so.
Overall, very close race tonight.
Just a few more seconds to not get sniped.
Yep. Got it.
Okay, at 2:41:31.
Not even 30 seconds after Riley's.
No, that's 1:30.
Nope, 1:30. My bad.
1:27, technically.
Misreading.
So, I assume Hell Knight's gonna ask them if they want to come in.
Yeah, could we get Riley in here, Sora?
I'd love
Or
to
even
have
Sponge.
those people who have
We'll
been...
take Sponge too.
I mean, honestly, I'd just like to hear everyone's thoughts who's been testing out all these settings. You know, I don't run this stuff. Well, Rob has a question. Why Sora skipped Shadow's second trial?
He knew. He just knew. There's never anything second Shadow Trial.
All right, well, Riley's coming in. For sure.
Okay, Sora's down.
Yeah.
They're all down.
Oh, right.
Let's get them in
Sponge
here.
will also join us. So we're going to get a bunch of top racers in here to talk about Season 4 settings. So Hello, who came in?
Yo.
It's Riley. Good seeing you again.
What's up, Angle?
GG, Riley's. How do you feel about that snipe?
Sponge can suck it, but other than that, no. It's nothing else. The usual, I guess.
It's just a little motivation for the co-op, right?
Yeah.
We love seeing you guys get these close races just to build up that match a little more.
Yeah. I sniped him
Sora?
last week, so
I see
guess
Sora's
it's just
in.
deserved.
GG, Sora.
Yeah, GG Sora. Close
Yo,
third.
GG.
And Sponge has also made it in.
Oh, spooky Sponge.
Oh no.
So we actually have a question from Rob about skipping Shadow's second trial. That's for Sora.
Oh, well,
Shadow,
I died.
Shadow trial second check.
Yeah. I was gonna do it, and then I accidentally fell. I died. I felt like I was angry about it, so I said, "You know what? If there's an item there, I'll take the L." I didn't really feel like walking all the way back around to it.
Yeah, you say that, but I completely forgot Ganon BK just after I got magic and it just bounced. I was like, oh, right, that's a thing, huh?
Yeah, we weren't sure if you just forgot or were like, I don't want to climb up there right now.
I mean, I guess climbing is kind of slow, but with wind and magic, I mean, I guess I would have had to win free, but I don't think it ended up being that big of a deal.
Right.
But yeah, this year was generally pretty straightforward, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I still don't know what was with the way the hero in. Oh, you were
I was muted. Yeah, I was muted.
Welcome, Sponge.
Whoops. Wait, there was another magic besides 40?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I did 40.
So the other one was in the water trial.
Yeah, Ganon's
Oh.
castle.
All right, cool. That makes me
You
feel
did
even better
40
about
and came in
everything.
first. Cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised you got the all 40 and still sniped it.
I played really fucking good. That's why. But yeah, GG everybody. Get fucked, Riley.
So,
You won't say that. Huh? Go ahead, sorry.
how are people feeling about the 2 medallion, 6 medallion thing right now?
This felt really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it didn't really feel super different to me, but I don't dislike it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's something different. It's just unfortunate the first time we closed the cat gate, we get Skullmaster required.
Yeah, we saw that early. It was like, they just have to do this quest now.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think
Yeah.
I think we got a nice breakup where, midway through the seed, you have this option to go into Ganon's, and like,
Right.
where do you value that at, as opposed to like a child spirit checks or other things?
Honestly, Ganon's worked perfectly for routing there because I usually like to pair it with Ice Cavern because you can get blue fire and then just unfreeze King Zora on your way up instead of having to walk all the way out. So
Yeah, we noticed that on stream. We were like, this routes in perfectly. You get the fire and stumbled into magic, and Sora goes back to turn into the letter and stumbles into the Dins.
Yeah, I knew Dins
And
was there
everything's
because after I did Dompe digging, I just went straight to lake to burn a bit of time of day, and I saw it then.
Yeah,
it
we
felt
weren't sure
nice.
if you all saw it or.
What are you gonna say,
Yeah.
Sora?
I was gonna say, it felt nice that like all the last few items in the seed kind of just chained together, so there wasn't any like having to guess. Once I found the Dins, it was like I did Shadow, then I did Water, then I did Jabu.
Oh, Sponge, did you do fucking water compass chest first?
Yep.
God fucking damn it!
That'll do it.
Hila in my chat told me you threw at the end by
Yeah.
Oh
checking
yeah,
more of
Riley.
water.
Riley, you went
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the central pillar.
Yeah, I did compass and then I did central bow and then I did central pillar and that did it. Yeah.
Did
Yep.
anyone else frog warp? Because I frog
No.
warped.
I got the Froggish Child and save warps with it before I got the hint because I didn't
Where was
care.
the child save warp?
Lon.
Oh.
This back of
Silo.
Lon.
Silo, yeah.
Yeah. This is a fun one.
I mean, it was pretty linear, let's be honest. Like, you just did. Look, the only thing I could see being kind of out of the way is the strength on sling target could have been awkward, but if you got the sling from Dompe before doing
Grave.
Skull Mask, huh?
Or Composer Grave. There's another one in there.
Yeah, true. But if you like did a small adult section and then did child, it's kind of hard to route in your child one when you do Skull Mask.
Yeah, I think you're right here. That the key to this race was get a slingshot, either one of those two, kind of early, get your strength, and be off to the races.
Yeah.
But
I also
how
full
did
cleared. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say full cleared DC. I got the hovers. I was kind of tempted to bail when I got the hovers, but I stayed and full cleared it.
Yeah, Sora stopped at the top, didn't go into the back. I don't know if Sponge.
I full cleared.
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
I did it when I did my DMT way the arrow. It was just convenient. I mean, with the save warp being in CAC, I guess you could have put it off and not felt terrible about it because you can just save warp right to it. But
Yep.
yeah.
So let's talk about some of these other new changes. Like, how are you feeling about, say, needing the Kakiri sword now for Deku? Like, we didn't find it till very late, so no one had to go
we
there.
can see. Personally, I find it it's basically adding an extra Ruda's letter in the pool, which I feel can be unnecessary sometimes. Like, it's just another search for an item, but at the same time, it kind of on the other flip side, it removes a lot of the Deku Tree Sphere 0 checks that are in there when you just start the game. So like, I feel like your other Sphere Zeros like Valley and stuff get a little bit more value.
Yeah, those other Sphere Zeros that you all didn't really do.
Yeah, I mean Skull Mask. I did Skull Mask and chickens, and then I got the hints for chickens and felt sad.
Yeah,
Let's
we
not
kind
talk
of
about Valley.
Yeah, nothing happened in Valley, right, Sora?
Sponge, did you see what was behind the waterfall? Maybe.
No, I never went to Valley this whole seed.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
What
me
was
neither.
behind the waterfall?
Oh, we don't know.
Oh.
I can tell you where
we
fire
don't know.
arrows
We
were.
don't have no idea
had
why.
Problems with the box and the chicken.
No.
Like,
Sora never
fire
went there.
out
Sora never
arrows
went
out of
there.
the
It's
crate.
fine.
But yeah, we as a group, as the organizers, we kind of feel like closed Deku is like a necessary evil, because if you don't close Deku at the beginning of the game, say you start in Lon, it's like you're just gonna go do Deku at the
Yeah,
start.
it's just too strong.
90% of seeds. It's too bad to go adult and then go to Deku and see like Hookshot or Bomb Bag. Like it would centralize the early game routing. And so closing Deku makes it so that like you could spend more time as child to get songs. Like, do you go to Sacred Forest Meadow without the Kokiri sword as like a choice instead of just like you always go every seed because Deku's there and it's really strong? Like,
I mean, the songs were just insanely nice. You got start with Serenade, then you get Prelude, then you get Minuet. You're like, oh, okay. Like,
Serenade is OP.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even joking. It's so good.
I mean, Prelude is also OP, but
I can work with that prelude. Serenade is like really
Um,
good for skull routing and time of day killing.
right. With random spawn, Prelude just gains
It's
like a
better for
bajillion
sure,
value.
yeah. It's way
Um,
better than it usually is.
Yeah, I actually never did Richard as well.
You traitor.
That poor dog.
I wanted to route it in, but it turned night when I got Scarecrow and Lake. I was like, whoops. Oh well.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's like an interesting change with these settings. Is normally you get Richard every time early. It's just
Yeah.
a thing you kind of do, and yeah, we're here, we're bored with how we do everything the same way.
Yeah.
Right. It's because it's big. The thing that makes it a really awful check now is because of Free Zelda.
Yeah, now
Um,
it's now. Do you want to be there at night? Not really. So
no,
you got to
yeah.
route it in.
And if you don't have a warp song to get out of there, have fun waiting for like a minute and a half for no reason, kind of thing. So, yeah, kind of awkward.
Awkward, but overall, like I think we're all liking this free song change up the routes in the early game. This time it was kind of the same old because we started in adult Kakariko, but I think we'll get a lot more interesting ones coming up.
Yeah, I mean, CAC Market and Kakiri Forest combined, they make about I want to say like 45% of all the entrances, or like the percentage of the entrances. So those are still the three likely entrances, which
Hmm.
in half of seeds you should get at least one of them. So, right.
But yeah, any other thoughts on some of these new settings or settings that we didn't try out tonight that you might like to see?
I really want to test with scrubs. That's like one thing I really want to try. How it
Yeah,
Scrubs are
feels.
cool. Yeah. Except if you turn scrubs on, you have to start with consumables because it's just really annoying to like you start in Child Lake and
Yeah.
you just like you get money, but it's like, oh, I can't check the scrubs because I don't actually have a way to attack them. Like
Yeah. It's
it's too
painful.
tedious if you don't. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's a different
Yeah.
balancing issue, yeah.
And there's talks about disabling dungeon scrubs as well because that would make some areas too powerful.
Yeah, DC is that
Yeah.
particular one.
DC Ganon's also kind of fits the bill, which it adds 4 like checks that
Poorly.
take like not even 10 seconds to do 4 checks, which is really insane. But yeah. More discussion and more races have to be done, obviously.
For
But
sure, for sure.
this felt pretty solid.
Yeah, you all got around a 240, pretty good times, pretty standard seed still.
Yeah, since we've had one more finish at 249, 15 by one shot, and then we're just waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed fairly straightforward to us watching you. I'm always curious to know where people maybe took some bait.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Clearing their
like,
dungeons.
there could be another strength out there that makes life trial more appealing. There's still GTG that I'm assuming neither of us touched.
We
So,
didn't see anyone, and I assume there's no way Sponge did that while beating you guys.
No, I didn't do anything that wasn't required
wow, typical
besides
Sponge.
40.
Yeah, 40 wasn't that bad. I was at like 18 when I got Magic, and I was like on my way to get a ton. So,
That's a lot of skulls, dude.
nah. 18 is a lot, yeah, you're right.
You're missing 22 to get 40. 22 skulls is like if you assume like roughly 15 seconds because there's a lot of dungeon skulls, that's still a decent amount of time.
Yeah, but I was prepared to waste like 5 minutes to grab them.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah. What else do I want to say?
Well, I'm sure you will do the checking of each other's routes later.
Just
Maybe,
skip the
yeah.
first like 20 minutes if you check mine because I was like running in circles. My brain wasn't working. There's a lot of walking back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say the new hint system as well.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask that. Only saw 3 Way the Hero hints. I never saw my last one.
We have Death Mountain Crater, Death Mountain Trail, Bottom of the Well, and Sacred Forest Meadow.
Classic SFM.
Oh, did you
I mean,
see?
it was for the hook and
Huh?
storms. It was for the hook and storms.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
Never
matter.
saw the Frogs 2 hint.
Yeah, probably buried deep.
It's a Hylian shield that's in river, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because we never saw Lower River.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of our runners skipped that.
Really?
Never touched it at
Damn.
all.
They sure did. We kept wondering.
You guys are nuts.
What?
You know, just randomly skipping checks? Who does that?
Yeah, I thought about it a few times, but every time I was like in the area, I had something else to do. Like
Yeah, I'd rather rush Ice Cavern.
I
Dylan,
realized a
Nicole?
little late that Ice Cavern had Nocturne. Like, I was looking at my songs. I was like, wait a minute, where's Nocturne? Oh shit, I gotta go do Ice Cavern.
Well, we got our 5th finisher now, so and that means 5 more people who are racing. So top
Yeah.
half.
Again, the big holdup might have been finding a slingshot,
Mm-hmm.
which if you didn't grab it, could have, or if you grabbed it and go back to the target, you know.
Yeah, maybe it. I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
seem like anyone was having a problem routing in Dompe on this seed.
Yeah, it
but
can be tedious if like no suns early trying to rev that and skull masking can be kind of pain in the ass. I still, like I said, I still don't know what was the way the year in DMT. I got bomb bag and bow. Pretty sure it's bomb bag though because I got another bow and shadow.
It's both. I'm pretty sure the bow and shadow is bow locked.
But it doesn't
Trying
lock.
to think.
It doesn't lock magic hovers, Dids, or Nocturne. Because letter is in the first chest in forest.
Yeah, you're right. I originally had some like weird skull logic reason for thinking that, but that
But
obviously doesn't apply anymore. So.
Right. I think it was the bomb bag for you guys.
yeah, I didn't find any other bomb bag, so that'd be more credible to me.
Yes, Dylan, there was a second magic in the water Trowel Gannons.
Don't worry,
People are-
dude. I did
hey,
40 as
Dylan,
well.
GG's. I finished.
You people are crazy. How'd you miss that? Did you just not do Ganon's Castle, or?
I never went to Ganon's until I was done.
I mean, again, I think
Nice.
that's like a reasonable, like, since you only open it up halfway through or so.
To me, it's an extension of Ice Cavern, so I'll always do it before I go ice.
I mean, I frog warped, so that was my way to get to ice.
I got the frog like
warped.
5 minutes in or 7 minutes in. Like I did it right after I finished my adult section, so I couldn't really not save warp.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold you guys too long here after a good race. Is there any kind of final comments you want to put in? Any more trash talk for our co-op competitors, or?
Be careful what you ask for.
Sure.
But yeah, this was fun. I definitely want to try out more of these to see, you know, how they feel. Because I mean, this felt very normal-ish, and I think that's both a good thing and a bad thing. But I think it's like more good than bad. So I think that's like
It felt
I think
different enough.
yeah, it felt like in the early game, it's like we're not seeing 4 links backwalking across Hyrule Field to start the seed every time. Like,
You know,
yeah,
but
we
saw
all
four
started in
links.
CAG, but
We saw 4 links go to Anju.
yeah, but then after that, it's like, okay, well, maybe 1 link goes up trail, 2 links like go child with the prelude they just got, maybe another goes river with the choose they got. Like, it's not you could see some potential divergence after that. Like, I like it. I like it.
All right, well, thank you all so much for joining us and racing tonight. You know,
Yeah. GG
congrats,
guys.
Sponge, on the close win.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who's still sitting in the audience listening to this.
And Hell Knight, maybe you could find us somewhere to raid, or
Or maybe I should mute myself. Yeah, okay, so you can see all the times for next races on the Restream. We're gonna try to do 2 a week if we have enough racers and commentators and volunteers. So let's see. What the hell happens to the racing?
I think he's on Ganondorf right now.
Okay. Let's see. Let's wait. The Renek is this fire. So, I'll see you all on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I don't have another restream yet scheduled for the co-op tournament. So, see you all.
Yep. Thanks everyone for watching and participating.